Good morning, everybody. What's going on? This is Very Mellow Man, and I'm welcoming you back to our Let's Play of Dark Souls Remastered. In our last video, we fought our way into the Undead Church, found a couple of Firekeeper souls, and fed them to our Firekeeper in order to upgrade our Estus Flask to +2. And we got some... well, we beat a boss. We beat the Gargoyle boss, with some help. Not that I actually needed it. And after that, we finally managed to ring the first bell of awakening. Now, while I was off screen, I was doing this. Just doing some co-op sessions as a Sunbro. The whole jolly cooperation, you know, atmosphere and culture. Oh. Bezro. I have no idea what's going on here. Well... and that is basically what you can expect from online play from here on out. It's only going to get worse the longer we go on. But yeah, this is actually going to take a little bit of a while. Because what I was actually trying to do is show off exactly what I was actually doing while waiting for the rest of the... Here's what I was doing. Sunlight medals, right? These are the Covenant item related to the Warriors of Sunlight. You collect these by successfully defeating bosses after you've been summoned into another player's world, and you help them out. We need only 10 of them, and we managed to get one from completing the first part of Knight Lautrec's side quest. I'll show you what happens when we get at least 10. But, I'll show you what happens when we get at least 10, but later. Right now, I just want to actually display what typical jolly cooperation looks like. Unfortunately, due to the rate at which... you probably can't tell just from all this happening, but... what's actually going on is there's a lot more signs here than just mine. They're sitting outside the Undead Church. Because of that, it's going to take a while for me to actually be summoned. Now, I was pretty lucky to get summoned as early as I did before. I mean that. I was super lucky. Oh, something dropped. A Titanite shard. Now, upstairs, you can hear the Draglings, basically just minding their own business and doing things. I don't know how much longer I'm actually going to stay here and wait just to show off this co-op session stuff. Especially considering that we had a perfectly good opportunity to do it before it got ruined by that high-level invader. So yeah, I think now it's the time to discuss the new... now it's time to discuss the act of griefing. Basically, what some players like to really do in these games is... come into low-level areas like this with very high-level gear, especially elemental gear, and then they basically just like to decimate your player health killing you for easy kills when you don't really have the option of fighting back against them meaningfully. The reason for that is pretty simple. What happens there is that some people like to just really make the evasion process really uncomfortable for other players. I mean, the guy that just summoned me, he was in no way, shape, or form capable of actually dealing with a guy who had a lightning weapon, a lightning katana at that. And yeah, it is possible to get a lightning weapon at this point in the game and remain at a level low enough for you to really exploit that by going to a low level. The point of the weapon forging, the point of the weapon level restriction is to try to prevent, or at least curb, situations that just happened like that, because I was two-shotted. I don't have a lot of health, so I was two-shotted. The result of that is very obvious. I basically ended up dying super fast. Alright. So we're not going to wait forever. That's just what it is. Oh, and this thing in my hand is the Drake Sword. We got this, I believe, last video, yes. The Drake Sword is pretty infamous in the Souls community. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by Drake's tail. Drakes are seen as undeveloped imitators of dragons, but they are likely their distant kin. The sword is imbued with a mystical power to release when held with both hands. Now, this weapon needs 12 dexterity and 16 strength to one hand, but since we have 14 strength, we can just two-hand it. And we two-hand it, you get to fire that sword beam. Now keep in mind that sword beam isn't very powerful, and each time you shoot with it, you take off about 20 points of durability. About 30 points of durability. But never mind that. The real reason I wanted to bring it up is because it's pretty infamous among the Souls community for being a noob trap weapon. And what that is a type of weapon that it's very easy to trick new players into believing is super good for the entire game, just because of how powerful it is in the early game. But the reality of the matter is, it's really not that strong. I mean, the reality of the matter is, once you actually get that high, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Right now, with 20 dexterity, which is the stat, okay, here's how stat scaling works, right? The User Katana here has a B in dexterity for our dexterity scaling. Parameter bonuses are the degree by which attack is boosted by player's strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith. And immediately underneath the parameter bonuses are whichever stats the weapon actually scales off of in terms of damage. Sometimes they have something to do with the weapon's requirements or the minimum values of strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith required to use this weapon effectively. Sometimes they don't. But for the most part, even though you need 14 strength to one hand in Uchi Katana, it doesn't benefit from any strength scaling. It's all dexterity. So for that matter, our weapon's strength is determined by a combination of its weapon level, which is +5, and our dexterity stat, which is now at 20. As a result of that, the weapon now does 183 points of damage when one-handed. Compared to the Drake Sword, which does 62 points of damage one-handed, because we don't have the proper strength parameter to take full advantage of the weapon. That changes when we two-hand it. As you can see now, our one weapon damage is 200. So what that means is, the Drake Sword is actually a good weapon for the early parts of the game, when you're just dealing with, I mean, only just when you're dealing with the yeah, it one-shots these guys. Ooh. Okay. Someone just rang the bell. Woo! What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Jesus Christ. Another Titan Shard, okay. And we dealt with another Grave Lord. It's kind of irrelevant if we did deal with a Grave Lord, but for the most part, all it really means is that, yeah, all it really means is, yeah, we don't have to deal with certain bosses. Yeah, that guy's gone. Woo! Oh, oh my god. Yeah. Except for this iron boar. Oh, we didn't get the iron boar helm. Okay. So yeah, non-respawning enemies like the iron boar and the Berenique Knight we killed in the Undead Church last episode, they're not affected by the bonfire resetting enemy progress. So as a result of that, they're not affected by, they stay exactly where they are. And you have to keep dealing with them no matter what you do. You have to kill them in order to get rid of them. Offer sunlight medals. Yeah. So in the original version of the game, sunlight medals where you didn't have a choice, but not just sunlight medals, but all Covenant items. You had to offer one at a time, so it was really tedious really quickly. You got like a buttload of them to offer. Deepened. And one last sunlight medal should do it. Yeah, here we go. Now that we've achieved the Sunlight Covenant rank 1. And we did that by offering 10 sunlight medals. Covenant levels only have 3 levels. They have base level, they have level +1, and level +2. Typically speaking, it's more reasonable to get to level +1 than it is to level +2. Like, for example, we need to offer about 20 more sunlight medals in order to get the level +2. But to be honest, I don't really think there's a real benefit to doing that. Not one that I can remember. Oh, and this option. This allows you to, after you unlock a covenant, you can just switch to whichever covenant you want to rejoin on the fly. I'm not sure if this causes you to gather sin if you do it on the fly, but you will eventually end up doing it simply for time management. One last thing, we're going to actually look at these miracles we have here. We're playing an int dex build, so we're not looking at these miracles for anything other than, well, lore. Miracle passed down to those bound by the Warrior of Sunlight Covenant. Hurl Lightning Spear. Lightning Spears inflict rare lightning damage, and are very effective against magic, fire, and most of all, dragons. And Great Lightning Spear is basically just more of the same. The weapon of the God of War, who inherited the sunlight of Lord Gwyn, but had respect only for arms, nothing else. So this is actually a version of the Lightning Spear wielded by Gwyn's son. So some interesting lore there. We'll never be able to tell otherwise. Let me see. Where do I go from here? All right. Got the Claymore, which is important because the dragon's back. Alright. Yeah, I want to avoid the dragon. Now, the shortcuts to get back to the dragon are still there, and you already saw the method I used to deal with getting past the Hellkite dragon in the first episode. But now I'm going to use the basement key. In fact, I'm going to switch back to my Ushikatana. Oh man, I really wish they just had the... It's so perplexing that they didn't think to patch in the option to just rush down ladders like this. I don't know. I don't get it. But hey, we're finally down. So anyway, next to the agenda is getting into the depths, but... First, on our shortcut. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's the strength of Dark Souls 1's interconnected world. You just have to deal with that. Huh. One hit kills. If there was ever a bonus or a benefit to seeing how far you've come in terms of upgrading your weapon, this would be it. With a +5 katana, you can genuinely see how much more powerful you become. Even as simple as starting a journey out with that. Alright, do I want to try for it again this time? Alright. Man, everyone's after me. It's so weird. Everything dying when hit is so hilarious. Not that... This is basically what backtracking to past areas is going to look like. Which you should already be well familiar with if you've seen my channel and my Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 Let's Plays. But because of the way Dark Souls 1 forces you to basically explore every nook and cranny before you get the ability to fast travel all over the place, it feels more exciting. So yeah, we're back in the Darkroot Basin. The reason for that is because I want to try this again. There goes that guy. Yeah, we pretty much have to keep doing this if we want. Ooh. Okay. Woo. Alright. Excuse me a second. Excuse me a second. Alright. So where is I? Oh yeah. We're gonna try to do this. Ah, here we go. Alright. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Hydras are actually, we can deal reasonable damage to. Alright, don't get too far away from them or they'll start using their water attack. The particle effects are great, don't get me wrong, but they make it really hard to tell. They make it really hard to tell where they're actually going to be attacking you. Okay. Yeah. Whew. Okay, come on, dude. Yeah, that one. Honestly, the more of these you cut off, the more difficult it is to actually hit this Hydra. I just went for a kick there instead of a slice, because the controls are kind of... The controls are kind of sensitive. Jeez, man. Yeah! Finally got that head. Hey! Look at that. Twofer. So, because of the random directions these last couple of hits will start going in, it can be very difficult to actually reach them. Which is always, like, the main problem with killing this mini-boss. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. One head left. Yeah! Dragon Scale and the Dust Crown Ring. There we go. Okay. So we finally got that. So let's check that out. Dust Crown Ring halves your current HP stat, but it gives you extra castings of magic in exchange. This magic crown-shaped ring was granted to Princess Dust of Woolly Seal upon her birth. The ring stone allows this word to cast additional magic, so at the cost of 1/2 HP. Yeah. So basically, if you're playing a caster build, disappear. So what I'm going to do now is something very strange. In fact, it's probably something I should have done before I start this video, because it's just going to cost us time. But I really want it. Wow, that leaping attack is no joke. Not in the mood. We're actually going to go back to the tutorial area. Yeah, see, this is what the thrust is good for. Narrow passageways and hollow alcoves, like that. Okay. In fact, I'm not sure if I could have gotten it this way or not, but there we go. Okay, so what we want to do is hop off here. So what we're going to do is hop off here, and hop off here to get this Undead Asylum key. Now, why would an Undead Asylum key be all the way out here? Well, let's find out. And the only way to find out is to head back to the Undead Asylum. So, yeah, to head back there, you have to curl up in a ball that's mysteriously shaped like one of these giant crow eggs, and wait a little bit for the giant crow to take you back. Could take a bit of a while. Alright, we're heading back. Now, back at the Northern Undead Asylum, you'll fight stronger versions of the beginning enemies you fought here when you first entered. And yeah, stronger. That was a chunk of your health you just lost. Avoid walking directly in the center of this area. Avoid it. Just avoid it, trust me. And since we have the foresight to open up the shortcut, we can just go back here, not have to deal with anything. Oh! Oh, okay. That's on me. I completely forgot that whole trap reset itself. And this guy drops broken straight swords. Okay. Yeah, these guys are Uchikatana plus 5 with 20 dexterity, cannot one-shot these Dreglings. The enemies here are just higher level now. So basically, the game anticipates that you are capable. Oh, look at this. The game anticipates that you are going to come back here and provides more appropriate challenge for your level and equipment burden. It's almost like Gwen knew someone escaped his prison and laid a trap for him in case they tried something. But yeah, you need that key in order to unlock this, which gives you the Rusted Iron Key. Improves balance on poor footing. This iron ring was used to shackle the guilty. It is terribly rusted and faintly sustained with blood. Those who find this strange ring to their liking will be pleased to find it easier to gain footing on poor grounds such as swamps. So yeah, this ring isn't... So yeah, this ring is pretty much the thing you want to use for traveling on the water. Come on. And yeah, one unfortunate surprise will be definitely this guy. Poor Oscar. Even after killing yourself, all that did was make you lose your mind and force you to go hollow. So 3 Aposts did the trick. Killed him, and now we're able to finally put him down for good. May he rest in peace. Praise the sun, Oscar. You are the only reason we're on this journey. You were the only reason I was saved. In exchange for that, you get his crest shield. Now, since this is the last time we're going to be talking about Oscar, I should mention something about him. Oscar was basically originally intended to be the antagonist of this story. Like, he was supposed to be a major character. He was supposed to be basically your foil and your exact opposite. Whichever path of morality you ended up taking in the game, Oscar would always oppose you. Always. He would never... Oscar was supposed to be your rival. To make a long story short. Like, it's really prominent near the end of the game, but for the most part, the point of Oscar was originally supposed to be a constant presence who would update you on your journey while you were going on his. He escaped the asylum, and at the end of the game, depending on what path you decide to go on, he will oppose you for reasons that have to do with his conflicting and divergent character development. So it's a cool concept that I wish was kept in the game, but I can understand why it was cut. What we do have, though, is this awesome crest shield. Shield of a Nameless Knight, likely a high-ranked knight of Astora. Just like the Dragon Crest shield. Who'd have thought? So let's see here. One of the enchanted blue shields, the crest shield greatly reduces magic damage. Now, yeah, it has 55% fire damage, but 80% magic reduction. If you want to block a magic attack, this is basically the medium shield you want to go with. It weighs exactly the same. It has basically the same parameters as the regular shield. Alright, so before we return back to where we were going, there's one last feature about going back to the Undead Asylum I have to show you. Well, it's not all there is to the Undead Asylum's return. No, not really, but this is a pretty important thing I want to get out of the way, for the sake of getting out of the way.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
Yeah, if you remember the crows, Dinah and Tallow from Dark Souls 2, the crow was in Dark Souls 1, obviously. So, the same deal as before in that game. You drop an item. You quit out the game. Oh, sorry about that. I got a little distracted. Reload, and when you get back, the item will have been traded.
You, give me.
For that worthless pile of rubbish, you get a Titanite chunk. Now, Titanite chunk is for plus 14 reinforcements of weapons, and it also tells you it gives you 2 plus 4 light weapons. Oh, so yeah. So the upgrade materials here will actually tell you how far you can take a certain weapon up their path before you can no longer use that particular Titanite or Titanite equivalent in order to Ascension. We already went over this in the last episode. Titanite shard for weapon reinforcement. Most common Titanite material reinforces standard weapons to plus 5. And that's pretty much it. Titanite chunk, however, is for weapon reinforcement of standard weapons to plus 14. And you also need Titanite chunks to reinforce crystal and lightning weapons to plus 4. Discovery of chunks in Lordran, the race to locate the legendary slabs has begun, but could it be mere myth? And the game constantly hints at this. What? 2 Titanite chunks? Oh. I must have already gotten a Titanite chunk from that crystal lizard earlier in my level. I must have forgotten about it. But yeah, that's pretty much a thing, and well, nothing less to say there, except we have everything we needed. So the Titanite chunks are what we're not going to worry about using a Titanite chunk right now. But it is a good thing that we have the Titanite chunk right now. It is a good thing that we can get started on upgrading our weapons past plus 10. But we still need to focus on trying to upgrade our weapon past plus 5. And the only way you can do that... I'm sorry to waste time at going up to kill this guy, but... You know. Wait, did he drop something? Yeah, he dropped his light crossbow. Which we can already pick up a free version of somewhere else. So it's kind of a useless bauble. Alright. Yeah. Hollow Soldier Helm. And then, when I'm done collecting what I need from the Darkwood Basin for a second time, we'll just head back on and try to get back on to our journey to the depths. Unfortunately, that means having to kill those crystal golems again, but as you can see, with our plus 5 weapon, we're doing much more damage to them than what we were dealing previously. It does matter a lot. Okay. Oh boy. So yeah, that crystal AoE does damage you. And we can stagger them after enough two-handed Uchigatana attacks. Those are only the ones that came up to us. So we don't have to worry about the big guy over there. Nor do we have to worry about the Hydra, who is a mini-boss and won't respawn. So, if you go into this water here, you'll find yourself eventually encumbered and incapable of running at your full speed. You can still roll, but that's about as far as you'll go. If you put on the Rusted Iron Ring, however, you'll be able to run and sprint like normal. So yeah, in places where your footing is compromised, the Rusted Iron Ring is what you want to wear. It's not a necessary item, but is definitely a helpful item. Now this is going to take us a bit of a this is going to take us a bit of a while. This golden golem will only spawn after you kill the Hydra. Oh, that didn't take too long at all. Alright. And out pops Dusk of Uasil.
So, 'tis thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Uasil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Uasil, is the home of ancient sorcery. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee?
Yes, say yes.
My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
And yeah, Dust will just sit there and disappear. Now we have to go back around. So yeah, that's a nice little NPC side quest there. In a typical Souls fashion, I would explain where this ladder goes, but it's not really relevant to us right now. God, this waterfall is so beautiful. So in typical Dark Souls fashion... Oh, hey, you don't even have to leave the area. Her summon sign is right here. So yeah, you need to be in human form in order to summon Dusk.
I am Dusk of Uasil. It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thy wishes.
So, Dusk here will sell sorceries, but instead of straight up damage sorceries, she'll sell these utility sorceries. Hidden Body turns your body nearly invisible, and by doing so, you get basically... By doing this, you'll basically, it'll decrease your chance of being detected by random enemies. There are two ways enemies can detect you in this game. Hearing your footsteps or seeing you in sight. Having Hidden Body on makes it easier for you to sneak around foes. So if you have to, for whatever reason, want to rush back to a bonfire or whatever, and you don't want to fight the enemies, this is what you use. Cast Light. It's basically just a flashlight above your head. Nothing else to really explain there. Repair, though, is probably the most interesting one, since it repairs your equipped weapons and armor. All you have to do is cast a spell, and you don't have to use a repair box or repair powder. But the thing is, it only has about one use. Compared to Cast Light, which has 3 uses, and Hidden Body, which also has 3 uses, Repair can only be used once before you have to rest that bonfire. So honestly, take back what I said there. It's not the most interesting one, it's probably the most redundant one. If you have to rest that bonfire in order to use it again, you might as well just carry repair powder and use the repair box. As far as role-playing goes, it's probably the best use of it, since you will be a sorcerer who doesn't know the in and outs of smithing, but knows that his armor and weapons need to be kept in tip-top condition. But at the same time, if you're going to do that, there's no real point in, I guess there's no real point, like, okay, you're going to be using weapons if you're a spellcaster. And to use a spell, you have to be a spellcaster that uses weapons. So if you use weapons, wouldn't it be more beneficial for you to teach yourself how to use a repair box? Or just go to a blacksmith? It's not really worth slotting. At all. Chameleon is really goofy and super gimmicky. What it does is you transform into something that blends in with the environment that you belong to. So, for example, if you were to use it in the Darkroot Basin here, you transform into a moss-covered rock. Now, that doesn't help you against enemies at all, but a separate stealth spell from Hidden Body, a skilled stealth sorcerer must be aware of his or her surroundings and of which objects are prime candidates for imitation. So you can imitate an object like a moss rock, and that might help you fool online invaders, but that's about the only use it has. So the final stealth sorcery is Hidden Weapon, which turns your right-hand weapon invisible. Again, this is only useful in online PvP, because hiding what type of weapon you're using will also basically increase your chances of... It's a mind game spell. Say you have a Uchigatana in your right hand, but your opponent doesn't know that. So what you're doing is, you're playing mind games with them as they try to figure out what your weapon's moveset and range is. Range is a very important part of damage in these games, because of how far you can go and how far you can keep yourself safe while still poking at your enemy for damage. If you've ever seen Fate Stay Night and you know how, like, Artoria, King Arthur, uses her weapon and covers it in invisible air, it's the same type of tactic there. And sorry for the slight spoiler, because in Fate, the names of the servants are actually spoilers, so sorry about that, but I think it gets my point across quite well. But what we really want from her is the Uasil Catalyst. Oh, the Uasil Ivory Catalyst. Sorcery Catalyst of Lost Land of Uasil, worn by enchanted white bark branches. The white bark boosts sorcery adjustment, but the sorceries of this Lost Land are gentle and not affected by intelligence. What that means is, there is no intelligence scaling parameter. Alright, so we can buy one. We'll also buy Hidden Body, Cast Light, Chameleon, Hidden Weapon. We'll need 3,000 more to get Repair. We'll also get her Gesture. Proper Bow. Tall.
For a very long time, I was trapped within the Crystal Golem. From my home I was taken, and banished to a plane of distortion. It was there that thou came to my rescue. After I, so gleeful was I, my faith reneweth.
Right.
The sorceries of Ulisil differ from the magic of thy mage. It is difficult to explain. Ulisil's sorceries are, what doth one say? They're somewhat of an approximation. Thine sorceries are more straightforward, negating all but thyself. Dost thou not find some fascination in these discrepancies? The sorcery, it is
Yeah.
thine sorcery. Dost thou not find
So yeah, Uasil's sorcery was focused on the self. while modern sorcery is focused on, well, expelling energy from yourself.
If thou art in need, pray summon me again. I only wish to be of some genuine assistance. May the flames guide thee.
And that's it. She'll be safe here. Don't worry about it. She'll just despawn when you leave. And picking up that night set is the last thing you have to do here. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just faster to report back like this. Homeward Bones save a lot of time, if you know what you're doing. Like what we just did going back to the Undead Burg from the Asylum. They're great for that. Alright, let's see how much durability I have. Oh, not a lot. Jeez, okay. Alright. Well, now I'm wishing I had that repair sorcery. Jeez. Alright, so... I guess the fastest way is to go back up here. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Do. Come on, buddy. Come on down. Come on down. We have a ball. Let's have a ball. Pal? Come on down. So, as you can see, the Hellkite Drake's tail has respawned. Takes care of you. Come here. Yeah. Had to go back all the way up here to get to Andre. Okay. So, Andre... Oh my god. So much of this video. To be honest though, the reason this video is so long without anything having to do with the depths is actually because I just really want to show you guys the steps of what I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to skip anything unnecessary. It's hard to tell what's unnecessary in this context. So, instead of asking Andre to repair my stuff, what I'm actually going to do is just buy the repair box from him.
Well, neat.
Right. Weapons smith box, armor smith box, and repair box.
This is the old church. It was abandoned in favor of the church that you passed through. There are paths.
Oh, I forgot that.
Two forbidden plains, Sen's Fortress and the Dark Root Garden. They attract all sorts of lunatics. No one as cultured as yourself. It's fine to be undead, but keep a level head, eh? Don't get yourself.
So yeah, Dark Root Garden actually has a second entrance down here, past that demon, which we're not going to be fighting. Not because I can't, but because we've already wasted a lot of time. I just don't want to get that into too many things. So let's use our last bone, head back to the bonfire we passed. Before I go on any further, I'll after I repair my weapon, I'll show you the difference between the Oasil Catalyst and our starting Sorcerer Catalyst. Alright, so check this out. We now have 3 options. Reinforced weapon. We can reinforce standard weapons to +5 here. And we can also reinforce standard weapons past +5 and even +10. But in order to do that, we have to have our weapons ascended by a proper blacksmith first. So if you want to take care of the busy work at that bonfire, you need to make sure that you get your weapons ascended first, because you can't ascend them on your own. The same with reinforcing... actually, you don't need a blacksmith to ascend your weapon, your armor. You can ascend your armor to +15 if you want on your own. But we're not doing that. No, we're just here to repair stuff. Why not? And hey, let's repair our armor while we're at it. Alright. Now, the Sorcerer Catalyst has intelligence damage scaling. In fact, it has A intelligence damage scaling. Whereas the Oasil Catalyst has C scaling. Well, it says it has C scaling, but in reality there's no scaling. It just has high base damage. The magic adjust stat is what you want to pay attention to here. Magic adjust is the degree of boost to magic, sorcery, pyromancy, or miracle that a catalyst, pyromancy, flame, or talisman will do to that type of magic damage you want to inflict. The Oasil Catalyst will always have 80 magic adjust, no matter how high your level is. Now, to show you the difference there, we're going to do this. 104, 109. Alright, so that's 20 intelligence, 104, 109 intelligence damage. We switch to Oasil Catalyst. 139, 146. So, yeah. Makes a difference. So as far as scaling goes, because it's A in scaling, the Sorcery Catalyst is actually a pretty decent catalyst for the majority of the game, even as a starting weapon. But the thing is, the best gains from its stat scaling won't show up until after you hit level 40 in intelligence. And what we want to do before proceeding any further...
Somebody,
yeah, sorry.
Help me. Unlock the door. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
Yeah. Some poor sap is trapped in here, and if we have the residence key, we can unlock it. Oh, I forgot there was a third dog down here, but back to this guy.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
Right.
Oh, hello. I have my sorcery.
Oh.
And I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
Alright, so there's Griggs of Vinheim. Just in case you couldn't tell, he was another sorcerer. Yeah, most sorcerers in this game are from the Dragon School of Vinheim. Ooh. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, 150 or 149. Pretty much the same thing. They're all huddled over twin humanities. Remember, those cursed with the dark sign, with the undead curse, they seek humanity. So they were drawn to the pull of that twin humanity over there. Oh! Ah, man. I don't really want to summon for any more bosses, but I almost want to do so just for this occasion. So, okay, how about this? I'll take on the boss solo on my own this time, and I'll show you guys what the boss is like when I actually try to summon for it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, spoiler alert, there are hollow thieves behind these locked doors. Oh my god! A vagrant! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! I've never seen a vagrant in my game before! Oh. In all my years of playing Souls, I've never seen a vagrant. Praise the sun. Jesus Christ. So, okay. Vagrants are enemies in Dark Souls and Dark Souls Remastered that are hostile and respawn when players rest at bonfire or upon death. So here's the thing. Vagrants are monsters that spawn in response to bloodstains being lost or items being dropped and abandoned. When a player dies and leaves a bloodstain with considerable humanity, 5 or more at least, and they fail to collect it before dying again, or the player leaves certain items and reloads the area without picking items up, there's a chance these items will travel to another player's world and become a vagrant. So someone dropped a twin humanity. That's nuts. Holy crap. Let's see here. Vagrants appear in 2 different forms. Good or evil forms. Good vagrants look like eggs or crab legs and will flee and vanish while being discovered. Evil forms, however, have claws and ranged attacks, and they will attack the player in sight. So we killed an evil vagrant. Holy crap. Good vagrants can drop items useful to the player if killed before they escape, and evil vagrants will drop valuable humanity or twin humanity. So that's nice. I'm sorry if it looks like a minor detail, but you have to understand, I've literally never seen this before. Yeah. Now they have knives that will cause bleed buildup. And remember, we have the bleed stats effect on our Ushikatana here. So when an enemy bleeds enough times, and you get their armor set here. Oh, the thief armor set, actually. I wonder if it would be safer to... Oh, Jesus Christ. I almost want to try putting a sign down up earlier, so that way we'll get more action. But, I think these guys have the right idea, because, yeah, this boss is gonna... Alright, let's just try it out here. At my current soul level of 35, and with a plus 5 Uchikatana, I'm really happy to see that I can still be summon all this help. Looks like people are doing all kinds. So, okay, when you lay down a sign, everything else disappears. Weakness rolling. Let's read the message. Actually, let's leave my own message. Yeah, let's go with this one. As you can see, there are more enemies down there. And unlike other boss fog gates, we don't actually have to deal with this one in order to progress. Well, actually we do, if we want to progress in this fashion. So I'll just give it some time. I will gladly give it some time. Let's see. So, more on vagrants. If a vagrant is not killed by a player, it'll be sent out again to another player's world. This will continue until the vagrant is finally slain. If the vagrant is sent out enough times, it will eventually upgrade to a more powerful Black Phantom version that drops more valuable loot. So, not only did we kill an evil vagrant, we killed a Red Phantom vagrant, the strongest kind. Our luck just knows no bounds, apparently. Man, I really want to show a co-op set. Well, we did show off co-op sessions with you guys earlier in the first video, so you know what those look like. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god, I'm stuck here. I got stuck. I got stuck. Well, okay, everyone dies to the Capra Demon at some point. Alright. So the worst part of all that is that we have to basically start all over. Which means having to kill everything again. Which is always the worst part of doing a boss run. Yeah. Mailbreaker. Okay. No humanity, no signs. Come on. Come on, mutt. Come on. Alright, that's all of you. And yeah, these guys can drop their target shield. Now let's hope I don't lose 16 humanity for a reason. Right? Oh boy. This camera. Woo! Okay. Oh boy. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Whew. Well, that's that. Praise the sun. Humanity in a homeward bound. So there's a Capra Demon. So yeah, the reason this fight is actually difficult is the following. The two dogs that bum rush you the second you enter the fog gate. That's like the number one reason anyone actually dies this boss fight. The second is the camera. The camera can be a real pain here. Like, no doubt. And there's no real reason after that, but the Capra Demon is pretty infamous in the Souls community for being one of the tougher boss fights for newbies. Even for some veteran players, it's a little tricky because it can totally depend on when the dogs decide to attack you, not why. So it can be a little... It can just be a little unwieldy, a little wild, a little too random, and not particularly fair or fun.
You still have your senses about you. Then why won't you buy some of my moss? I need your souls, please.
So this is another undead merchant, and she sells you all flavors of moss. Now each moss reduces the buildup to a particular status ailment. Blood red moss reduces bleed buildup. Purple moss reduces poison buildup and cures any current poison status. And blooming purple moss reduces not only poison and toxin status, but actually restores. This is the only curative in the game that actually heals you from the toxic status, so this is very invaluable. Speaking of which, you also get poison throwing knives and dung pies that have the ability to inflict toxic and poison to enemies. But the dung pies are a double-edged sword, since they can also toxic the player. Next you have alluring skulls, which don't necessarily work all the time, but they're a nice thought. What you can do with these is that you can throw them, and that will draw the aggro of certain enemy mobs away from you and towards the skull. This is mostly used to clear pathways or give yourself an easy backstab. The charcoal pine resin is basically the counterpart to the lightning or gold pine resin we used before, where we add a type of elemental damage to a right-handed weapon. The trick with these types of resins is that you can't add them to weapons that already have either elemental damage scaling or certain auxiliary effects. Like, if you send a weapon to fire or lightning, you cannot use resins on them. There's a reason why. You also can't use these types of weapons on divine, occult, stuff like that. Resins are best used on crystal weapons, raw weapons, and regular reinforcement weapons. I think those are the only ones, though. Yeah. Transient Curse is something that we won't be needing for quite some time, but yeah, it temporarily curses you, so it allows you to kill those ghosts we ran away from last episode when we were trying to get that second Firekeeper soul. Rotten Pine Resin is another poison weapon. Add poison, build up to your weapon. Self-explanatory. And Homeward Bone! Yes, Homeward Bone. Yeah. Prism Stones are pretty gimmicky. They're basically just path markers. If you don't want to get lost, or if you're exploring, you've already seen an area, this is what you use them for. Humanity, self-explanatory. Purging Stones, I've already explained these. And of course, arrows. You get fire and poison arrows here. Yeah. Fire arrows do more fire damage than they do physical, so that's weird. So yeah, poison arrows can be pretty useful for certain situations, actually. Alright. Now run down here. We open up a shortcut. To Firelink Shrine. Yeah, we're back here. Oh, got a short sword. Well, low and roll what he dropped. I tried to be cool, and it failed. Oh my god. Oh, his crappy shield. Someone rang the Bell of Awakening again. Man, I wonder how many times I'm going to hear that before this playthrough's over. And hey, look, it's Griggs. He's back.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Yes.
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan?
Sort of.
Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me.
So, yeah. This guy's story is that he's an apprentice to the expert sorcery teacher, Big Hat Logan. They were traveling together, and then they got separated. Then he ended up trapped in a locked room with... I'm wondering how he got locked in that room, to be honest. Someone had to have deliberately trapped him down there, but I'm not really sure who could have done it. The mindless Dreglings, I really doubt could have done it, but it's really a mystery for the ages. So yeah. He sells you pretty much the opposite of Dusk. He sells you attack sorceries. Oh, including the first casting of Great Soul Arrow. Yeah. He also sells you Great Heavy Soul Arrow, Heavy Soul Arrow. Power, fires heavy soul arrows. Difficult to use due to a long cooldown and a limitation of the number of castings. I'll buy that anyway, because we need to. Magic weapon.
Alright. That should... May we meet?
Actually, magic weapon. Yeah!
Did you see the kindling is the art
What?
of feeding bonfires?
Oh.
Poor young girl sent down into a tomb. What a terrible mission she is burdened with.
Oh! I guess before we resume that, we'll have to briefly walk over to here and talk to these three. Yeah, it's Petrus. These are the buddies he was talking to us about at the beginning of the first episode.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure.
Alright.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
So yeah, kind of a dick. He makes funny noises because he doesn't have a real voice.
Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now.
Kind of a dick, but he does keep to his duty. Now we have the maiden, Rhea.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us.
Yeah.
Did I not explain the urgency of our task? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
Rhea is also kind of a dick. Also dedicated to her... See, the way the White's mission is to link the fire. Find a way to stop the Age of Fire ending. They basically serve Gwyn specifically, I think. Or at least they serve the Healing Church. Oh. So yeah, if you get to... So yeah, Griggs, thanks for the heads up.
Oh, hello. Myself.
Magic weapon. Sorcery for casters who wield swords. Magic augmentation right weapon. The power of magic swords of Vinhelm is predicted upon this and magic shield. Many warriors have learned sorcery just for this. Yeah.
Yes. The note that Master Logan left, it only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the for Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage.
Excuse me for a second. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry about that. I had something in my mouth. So, as I was gonna say, that was a hint as to where you could possibly find Big Hat Logan. He's on his way to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress, so you have a character path for him.
Two things are required for sorcery. First, you must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim.
Yeah.
All right. That may we...
So, if you haven't started messing around with spellcasting yet, this guide will teach you exactly what you need to do in order to use a sorcery. And yeah, all these spells have intelligence requirements. 14, 12, stuff like that. Actually, now we've done this, it's actually time to switch our catalyst from our right hand to our left one. Soul Arrow. 146. Great Soul Arrow, 217. You can tell what the damage boost is there. Heavy Soul Arrow, 310. So yeah, they're all basically the same type of enemy, so you can see there how significant the damage boost is. So, last thing we'll do is magic weapon. You should have seen me kill these things enough times to know how much powerful a magic weapon slash will do. 224. Jesus Christ. 253. Now let me see here. Magic weapon is the first level of weapon spell buffs that you can apply to your right-hand weapon. And, well, basically, how much damage you can get off your weapon buff will depend on the magic adjustment stat of the catalyst. So if 180, 125, one-handed, 224. That's almost 99 extra. That's almost 100 extra points of damage. You can see how insane this is. Right? That's a really significant buff, dude. Okay. 375 of a backstab. $491 with a parry. 312 with a two-handed R2. Honestly, the particle effects look amazing too. Holy crap! It literally looks like magic energy is emanating from your weapon. God. Oh man. This is awesome. This is really awesome right here.
Oh, hello. Well, you said myself.
Let's see here. Great heavy soul arrow. 8,000. Jesus Christ. There's some other neat stuff we can buy here, like fall control, but... Oh, I should play Magic Shield. Magic Shield, what this does is enhances the stability of the shield. Basically, it's the opposite of Magic Weapon. You hold your catalyst in your right hand and the shield in your left hand, and then what that does is it boosts your shield's current stability.
Goodbye then. Do.
Seriously, this is really awesome. Yeah, no, it looks like you have a lightsaber. That's what the best part about it is. It's ridiculously cool. And yeah, as far as the Soul Arrow School, you can begin to see now what the deal is. The longer the Soul Arrow takes to cast, the more powerful it is. And now we're at this point that I'm going to explain split damage to you. Like, this adds lots of AR, but that AR also comes from the weapon being magical in nature, so it also does magic damage. As a result of that, you'll sometimes find enemies that can you'll be dealing less damage towards if they have particularly high physical and or elemental resistances depending on the element you're enchanting your weapon with. This is actually why elemental weapons that you can get from regular old blacksmith reinforcement are good for the most part, but they do technically perform worse than plus 15 or even plus 5 crystal upgraded weapons. It's a matter of hitting only one type of damage resistance over hitting multiple damage resistances, and as a result, the boss or the enemy taking less damage consecutively depending on what you're doing.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell.
Yes, it was me. He has this dialogue after he rang the first bell of awakening.
You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more, but it's going to be suicide.
Alright. Yeah. So that guy down there, well, probably spoiled it a little bit, but there is a reason you're hearing snoring in that pool now.
Did you see her? That virtuous little maid, complete with followers in tow. They're probably going straight to pillage graves. I've heard enough about the lady for a lifetime. What absolute rubbish, eh?
So, okay. Man, alright. I noticed I was going to head to the depths this episode, but maybe I need to change the title. Well, actually, we've unlocked the path to the depths. What we have here is the depths key. Yeah, we have the depths key, so we've unlocked the path to the depths. So I did keep to my title and my stated goals this episode. So that's gonna be it for today's episode. If you like today's episode, leave a like and subscribe for future content, and I will happily see you guys next time when we fully explore the depths and see what lies beneath the undead church. Praise the sun.